What is up? Oos. Welcome to episode 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. I don't even know what episode is this. 3? 4? Look at this shirt. Beautiful mind. Very appropriate for what I'm talking about. Emma, the papers are moving way too loud. I'm just kidding. Joking. Emma's doing work right now. She's being awesome. If you need a logo or something like that, if you want some web design work, she's your go-to. But no, let's talk. Happiness is overrated. I haven't been procrastinating this video, but I said this before. I only want to do a podcast when I want to. That's why I started this channel. So I don't really have like a desire to like force a video or whatever. And I've been really busy, but it's a snow day today for teaching, so this is perfect. I have some downtime, so I can I gotta stop saying that. Have some downtime so I can record this video. So what's frustrating, first of all. Now, see, I'm all unhappy. No, what's frustrating is that I originally, when I get a thought on and I get like rambling in my mind, that's when I want to typically record it. It's not always happening. So I feel like that balance will come in time, and it'll just get better. I'll just get better at it. So, happiness is overrated. What do I mean? Literally, that's exactly what I mean. I feel like people put too much into trying to be happy, or when they think in their mind of having a quality life, having a good life, that means having a happy life, right? Well, you want happiness in your life, but I feel like literally the emotion of feeling happiness or feeling happy is overrated. People, it gets treated differently than all the other emotions. Happiness is an emotion like all the other ones, right? There's happiness, there's sadness, there's being joyful, there's blissful, there's the sense of, feeling like you feel of gratitude. What else is there? I mean, all the other ones. Angry, depressed, right? There's all these other types of feelings and emotions that you can feel as a human being in your emotions. And I feel like happiness is one, on the positive side, that's overrated. Because happiness is just pretty much whenever you have something you want to accomplish and you achieve it. So when you have some sense of satisfaction, or you have a desire and that desire gets fulfilled, then you feel happy, right? Because something went the way that you want it to. When you're not happy is when something doesn't go the way you want it to, right? So, but if you're constantly searching for things that go the way that you want to, then you're probably not going to be very happy. And then if you feel like happiness is like the end goal, or I want to have like a lot of happiness in my life, then every time you don't achieve something or get something you're looking for, you're going to be unhappy, and then you're going to be reminded that maybe I'm not going to have a happy life, and you're going to be even more unhappy and more sad and more frustrated or whatever, and confused about maybe the sense of feeling like I may not have a happy life. I feel like people have that fear when things aren't going their way. They get concerned that later down the road, their life is going to be the way they want it. And I feel like that's like the biggest cause of like people who like or get really unhappy or get really sad or get down themselves, they get really fearful about their life, they panic, is when, not necessarily right now, but they feel like their life in the future isn't going to go the way they want it, or it's going to go worse, or maybe they're not sure, and that really freaks them out. So what, you want to say something? You want to add?
No.
Okay.
I was just smiling at you.
Nice. So, I feel like something that should be overrated, something that people should be searching for and looking for and putting all of their eggs into this specific basket, is growth. See, it's not really an emotion or a feeling, but if people were focused on expansion and growth, like in themselves, like as an individual, in their mind, in their body, and everything in their own life, just focus on growth and expansion. Like obviously you have a lot of other things in your life, but if the one thing you focus on the most, like a quality of life depends on how much you grow, how much you expand, not necessarily how happy you are, right? Because you're not going to be happy all the time. So if, simply said, if the quality of your life was equal to the amount of growth that you have, or the amount that you expand mentally, emotionally, physically, then, right, you're going to have a life that's abundant, that I feel like is a better word than happiness. It's abundance means like it's fulfilling. It's filled up because you're constantly trying to grow and expand and get better. And I feel like when you're growing, whether it's mentally, you're learning something new that's beneficial to your life, whether you're getting, healthier or stronger or whatever, or emotionally, you're getting stronger as well. Because like through hardship, through sadness, through fear, through these negative emotions, you can get emotionally stronger. So there's growth there. But if you're not focusing on the growth, then you're just sitting in the sadness or sitting in the negative emotion, then you're not going to grow. So you're literally feeling the bad emotion, plus you're not growing. So then it's going to feel like you're going backwards, right? It's like double negative. So it's important that you focus on growth. Then no matter what comes your way, even if it's happiness, even if it's sadness, even if it's joy, no matter what, you can enjoy it all, or you can feel sad, but you're going to grow from it. You're going to try to expand. Because even people who are successful and they get happiness, right? They achieve something, then they're happy, but then they stop growing or looking to expand or looking to move forward, then they get unhappy. Then they feel like, I'm not sure, there's nowhere to go. When you're not growing, you're not expanding, everything goes downward. And I feel like we get distracted by these other emotions, these like simple pleasures often, and growth doesn't become the main ingredient, so to speak. It doesn't become the main source of life. It's going to be a problem. So, for me, in every little thing. That's why I like to read different things. I'm constantly looking to grow in any little way, trying to expand consciousness. I think awareness is the main thing. Trying to expand my awareness of what's going on around me and then myself. If I can be more aware of my health, if I can be more aware of my emotions, more aware of everything about me as an individual, I think I'm going to see more, I'm going to feel more, I'm going to hear more. I'm going to be more aware so I can make better decisions. And I feel like a lot of people aren't very aware of their surroundings. Not even their surroundings, but themselves. Their own emotions and their own feelings, their own life. And they're constantly running into problems that you don't necessarily have to deal with, but it's because you're distracted or because you're not aware. But through learning, through growth, you have an expanded awareness of everything around you, including yourself, your own reactions, your own triggers, your own challenges and stuff. So I feel like that, for me, that's number one. Constantly, number one. If I can do that, then that'll take care of everything else, 100%. Because if I can do other things, if I achieve a lot, or let's say I make the right decision at the right time, or I upload the right video, right sequence, or I get into my next fight, I win my next couple fights, and it's extreme. I end up going to the face house, everything goes boom, 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 boom. Right, I get to 1 million subscribers. I want all those things, right? But I get to 1 million subscribers, everything's going well. But in those moments, I don't grow as an individual. Then in 2 or 3 years, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 20 years, when all that dies down, or when I'm in a different phase of my life, and let's say, whatever, kids, right, future, family, all that stuff, what benefit is that going to have to that phase of my life, right? So I feel like we're all going to go through different phases, and happiness is going to mean something different now for you. Right now, happiness means one thing. In 5 years, it may mean something different. In 20 years, it may mean something different. And I know that's the same for me. Happiness when I was 6 is different than happiness now, and the same thing with every other emotion. Sadness is triggered by completely different things, and it's constantly going to change. So for me, I have my goals and stuff I want to accomplish, but 100% the thing I'm focusing on most as myself as an individual is growth. How can I grow? I feel like I see people all the time, and I can tell immediately. If I'm on the city bus and I'm talking with people, I can tell that these people are just day-to-day people. They go to their job, they go do their things, they seek simple pleasures, like I said before. They love watching sports, nothing wrong with that, so do I. But their life is just experiencing these emotions, right? And then maintaining the life that they have, but not necessarily about growth. Right, they grow from kindergarten to high school and college and so forth, and then they stop growing. Right, they don't expand on their own unless they're being told to, or they have to for their job, right, or they have to for this. A lot of us are forced to grow through hardship. Right, you become a parent, now you have to learn how to parent. If you're doing very good parenting, then you have to expand. You have to, I got to learn this, I got to relax here, I got to stop doing this, or through a heartbreak, or through a relationship, or through whatever. Then you're forced to go, I have to figure this out, or my life is going to go way down the drain. So I feel like if you just had that mentality already, that my life will be full and it'll be amazing as long as I'm growing and constantly expanding. When I say constantly, I don't mean crazy, I got to grow it, and it's I got to read this and do that. But just to the point where you're constantly, like, one thing that's consistent in your day-to-day life or your weekly life is that you're growing mentally, physically, emotionally. And I feel like happiness takes that place right now. I wish that growth was the replacement of that. I feel like people put too much energy in trying to entertain their satisfaction, or entertain the thing that their immediate desires, instead of trying to do that, obviously, but also trying to grow in just any way, trying to expand and challenge yourself. Like I like to do it in the littlest things, whether it be the music I listen to, or my personality, the people I connect with or don't connect with, or maybe I have certain ideas about things, or certain thought processes, or certain biases towards things, and I want to challenge myself in that way to make sure I'm not like I'm an integrated person. I'm not just somebody who's just like, oh, this is the way I am. I don't, like, I just seclude myself into a little corner and do my thing. I like to constantly try to expand myself as a person, understand people's different point of views, and I feel like I want to be like a different person yesterday than I was now, in terms of better, not totally different, but like expanded in a way, like more aware, and stuff like that. Not just intelligence though, because I think intelligence is your ability to like problem solve, critically think, and stuff like that, in your speed and the way that you can, put things together. That's obviously important too, but I'm not talking about like critical thinking in terms of that. I'm talking about just like awareness of like the emotional aspect of being a person, and like the physical aspect of being a person, and just like living life in general, and the way you connect with yourself and other people. That's what I'm talking about. But I feel like happiness is totally overrated. And I feel like once you switch that, everything changes. It's weird, but for me, I feel like that's so true. If you switch like happiness and like growth, it's like the thing I want the most in life is to be happy or to be successful or whatever. If you say I want to achieve this, what you're really saying is happiness. I want to achieve this goal because that's what I feel like is going to make me happy. Because if I don't get that, I'm going to be unhappy. Right? You may use different words than happiness or sadness, but you're talking about pleasure and pain, right? Pleasure and pain. I'm not talking about pleasure or pain. If anything, if your life is attached to achieving pleasure or staying away from pain, that's what I mean by happiness or sadness. I'm using those two general emotions, but it could be anything that falls along that spectrum. What I'm really saying is not going outside of pleasure and outside of pain, and growth, because growth can exist and expansion can exist despite of pain or pleasure, right? Whether you experience pain or pleasure, you can grow from that, because it's different. It's not about satisfaction or sensation, right? It's about, I don't know, it's about growth, you know what I mean? I'm just talking about growth in general, whether it's mentally, physically, or emotionally. What do you think, Emma? Think that's pretty good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I agree.
I think so too. You agree?
I do.
I love you, babe.
I love you too.
How you doing over there? She's like busy, so I know like I'm irking her right now because I'm trying to pretty much distracting the heck out of her. She has headphones on just to block out the sound of my voice. Just to block out the sound of my voice because she's busy. Because she's a hustler. She knows how to grind. She's in school, but you just finished a quiz, and what are you doing now? Working on your own website, working on your own business.
I'm doing homework at the same time.
And homework at the same time. Oh. Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. She's really cool. You really have any time for me? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We work hard. We work hard. But yeah. So I hope this video helped you out in any way. I hope maybe this can shed some light. If you're somebody who puts too much energy in trying to be happy, and also when things don't. What I mean, also, this is important. If things don't go your way, and you get really unhappy, that's also a tell that you have too much energy and too much in trying to be happy. Right? Just go, oh, I don't really care about being happy. Happiness isn't everything. But when things don't go your way, you get really unhappy really fast. That means satisfaction, desire of achieving something is a little too much energy in trying to get just to achieve it. Focus on growth and expansion. If you do that, if you don't achieve the thing, you're going to achieve it later anyways. Because you're going to grow, become above it, and then you're going to achieve it, and then grow and achieve things beyond that. If you stop growing, you're not going to achieve it anyways. And if you get lucky, you're not going to achieve anything above that, because if you're not growing. If you get lucky, you might hit a couple stages, right? but that's as far as you're going to get. You're not going to achieve true expansion. You're not going to true fulfillment, like a life that's constantly growing and expanding as you grow older in every phase of your life. To me, that's a fulfilling life. At every phase of your life, you're not even compared close to the thing you were before. You're a completely stronger and physically, mentally, emotionally person from 10 years old to 75 to 85, 95, right? I think that's something that we can all look forward to. I think that's fulfilling. And I think despite of happiness and joy and pain and sadness, but despite all that, that's something you can hold on to, put on your back and ride that to the end of life. I like it. All right, I'm going to record another video actually right after this, and then we'll go from there. I think I'm going to do an ADHD. That's the one I wanted to do. Have an ADD, the label of that. Because you could tell I was labeled that if you can't tell already. Oos.